realize my microphone's on, sorry. Hey, Big Finish, and happy Friday, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Christopher Dahl, and welcome to the Subterranean Studios. Hello, and happy Friday. And we have Bob is here already. Hello, Houdini Bob. How you doing today? Thanks for joining. This has been a really nice Friday so far. We've got some sun out here, and it's warmed up. Almost feels like springtime near the studio. Hey, hope everyone's doing pretty good. I'm having a pretty fun week here, getting a lot of things accomplished behind the scenes at Space Art by Christopher Dahl. But today, it's Friday, and because it's Friday, we're gonna goof off. Yeah, we're gonna goof off. Hey, doing great. Awesome, very cool. Glad to hear that. I gotta move my monitor back over just a little bit more. There we go. I think I'm nailing down all of the gremlins. There might still be some. Just to give you a heads up, we might still get the occasional bit of static, but I think I tracked down a few possible reasons why I was having audio issues. In any event, I can always switch it over to another microphone that I've got running in the meantime. But if you hear anything as you're listening on the live stream, feel free to let me know. So static or any of that kind of stuff, or if you're just bored with what I'm saying and doing, feel free. Yikes. Anyway, no, it's been a good week. I'm actually, since I'm mapping my work week to Stephanie, my wife Stephanie, she's got she takes 2 days off during the week instead of the Saturday and Sunday. So technically, this is our Monday. Our Friday is our Monday. So we're really in a strange mindset, but that's okay. This works out good. Getting I know it looks kind of crazy behind me, but there's a method to my madness here, and this is all of the stuff behind me on the bench is basically the model tools and paint stuff. I'm working at getting the 3D printer hooked up, which is actually off to that side over there. And I'm thinking about what to do with the space behind me. This is like a nice big, we're kind of in the middle of a big rectangle. It goes back behind me. And it's the whole space is kind of my work area. And when I first set it up, I thought, okay, cool. Yeah, this corner where there's the red lamp and everything, I thought maybe that would be a great model bench. I just find that I don't like working with my back to the rest of the room. So it's very strange. Anyway, hey, David Kelly's here. How you doing, David? Good to see you. Hey, how's everything up on the far cold north? Hope you're doing pretty okay. Good to see you. Good to see all the familiar faces here. Yeah. The DS9 model looks great. Oh, I can't wait. I've had so much. Thank you. I've had so much fun with Deep Space Nine here. This has really been fun. We're gonna take a little look at it this week. This was like the when you kind of need something to just sort of break away from everything you're doing. It gets all and a jigsaw puzzle and a coffee, or a jigsaw puzzle watching a show or something, that kind of thing. That's what I did with this. I went and just grabbed a model off the shelf and said, I've always wanted to build it. It's not going to be a contest entry. I'm not going to light it. Let's just build and paint it. So yeah. Hey, Edie, how you doing today? Good to see you. And hello from NYC. Awesome. Greetings. Very cool. Got the whole crew here. So we're gonna take a look at. We're gonna take a look at. I don't know. It's funny how the models, when you kind of get into the hobby, every model becomes like this gigantic thing. Like it just feels like, oh, there's a million things I could do with it, and it's gonna be great. And then that sort of just thinking about those possibilities in my mind makes me kind of stick it away till the perfect time is ready to go. But sometimes you just gotta kind of throw in with it. Is that a TOS Enterprise? Oh, it is. Yes, we'll take a look at it. Hey, Nanu's here. How you doing, Nanu? Good to see you. Hey, great. Greetings and happy Friday. I had Pickles in here, but she escaped for the rest of the day. Happy week. The cats are doing great. Stephanie and I, we've been threatening to do cat live streams forever. and so we're gonna line up some. We have some fun ideas for that. So hopefully soon we'll get that rolled in. Now that I'm kind of getting things nailed down, I'm hoping to pull all those out. But anyhow, yeah, good times. Let's take a look at what we got here this week. So here we go. This is the Deep Space Nine model straight from above. It was a fun kit, and yes, indeed, good catch. I do have. I just want I love having my toy spaceships, right? So there we go. I don't think this is actually technically in scale, but it works well. And of course, crossing the streams, Vinkman. Waves to pickles, exactly. This is definitely not to scale. I do realize this, but I'm sorry I don't have a red dwarf nano. Otherwise, I would pull that out here as well. But no, I just had some spaceships. This size actually may be good contenders for a couple of paint live streams. Like this Star Destroyer, for instance, is definitely in need of a little paint job. So happy times. Anyway, let me know in the comments or let me know in Discord if you want to see more of this kind of model building stuff. I would like to maybe continue rolling along with those. Yeah, thank you. Honestly, the station was. It was a lot of fun to build. I was a little bit worried that it was going to be kind of wobbly. It's really not. I showed this a little bit on the Patreon live stream last Sunday, but since then I've gotten in and finished the paint job a little bit. Yeah, the Enterprise isn't too bad. It's pretty close in terms of scale, but yeah, this was actually a pretty simple paint job. It was just sort of primer plus a gray color. Basically, the gray color you see in between here is what the whole model is painted off of. And then I actually hand painted a lot of this, like these off-colored panels here that get the kind of mauves and that kind of stuff. Those are all hand painted. Oh yeah, and then the little details down in here, little stripies. That was all you have to do is it's a brush painting. And after that, this is the fun part. All of this, it's all oil washes. I mean, I think I did like 3 passes on oil washes. All of this detail in here is just basically real simple oil washes. An oil wash is where you basically thin down oil paint with terpenoid, which won't attack the acrylic, and it just sort of drops in there. Hey, Wes, how you doing? Good to see you. Awesome. Nana says, I saw Adam Savage doing a model with Copic marker inks. Oh, I saw that. Exactly. Same principle, right? It's kind of the same principle. The underside is a little dirtier because I actually used the wrong, instead of terpenoid, I actually I grabbed the wrong container. I grabbed a container that had mineral spirits and it really attacked the paint. So anyway, I couldn't brush it away the way I'd expected to because it was pulling all of the paint down. But no, it's really fun. Yeah, so no lights on this one. There will be windows. I've got a fine point paint pen, so I'm gonna have to sit in some night and just dot in windows, probably while I'm doing the 6th and 7th season rewatch of Deep Space Nine. But anyway, that was fun. It's a good time. It's a great size. I love the size of this thing, especially when it's kind of sitting actually, I had this sitting behind the chairs that we had in the living room watching shows and everything. It was on a table. The underside would be dirtier from being in orbit around Bajor. Yes, exactly. It's weird. I have to think backwards. Do it like this. Hold it straight up. But anyway, builds up to a great kit. And this is an older model. I think this came out at about 1995. When they first popped this kit out, and it hasn't really changed significantly. So from an engineering standpoint, it's maybe a little less refined, but it builds out great. And honestly, I've heard people say it's a wobbly kit. It's not wobbly at all, actually. It corrects itself very nicely. So grab a model and do some painting. It's fun. All right, let me go ahead. I'm gonna move this on over. Give you a final view of the top there. I'm gonna move this on over and pull out what we're going to work on this week. So hang tight. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Friday at Space Art by Christopher Dahl. Boom. Here we go. I'm going to move this out of the way. Where am I going to move it to? I have no idea. we'll space station it right there is what we'll do. Awesome. Yeah, cool. All right. What do we have here this week? Okay. Let's pull a couple of things. Alrighty, here we go. So to start things off, if anyone missed last week, we have. Let me pull it up over here. Main live stream. There we go. This was our. I just decided I had to do a space sci-fi. Oh, come pull it back here. Space sci-fi scene. So this was from. I'm calling this one Jump Gate 6, part of a series. And note, when I turn it this way, I get my blue light, and when I turn it this way, I get my daylight light. So you'll see it in multiple views. Very cool. So that's a 14 by 18 inch, I think. And that's now up on the website. We're going to put this right over here. These gentlemen can hold it right there. All righty. There we go. And coming back to our live stream, our the Space Frog paintings. We didn't do a Space Frog last week, so I thought maybe I would do a drawing at the beginning this week, and we'll get a start on it. See how that's going. Oh, there's a god after all. You bought Galactic Encounters Star Quest for only $10, and the Terran Trade Authority Spacecraft 2000 for $36 at Strand Books. Oh, that's a find. That's really great. Those were some classic books. I actually, right now, I don't even have a copy of those anymore. Those unfortunately left at one point when I very insanely did a purge. That's very, very cool. The GE books are half an inch smaller all around, half as thick, but explains the price difference. Oh, yeah. It all depends, too, on whoever the store owner understands the value of them. Anyway, all right, let's take a look at this. We're gonna start off. We're gonna kick off this week with a return to the Space Frog painting, and after that, we're going to do some stars, folks. We're going to do some stars. We're going to do some space art. Yeah. Space art. That's what we're all here for anyway. So there we go. Alrighty. If y'all remember, here's the thing. For the Space Frog painting, I draw a card, and that card becomes the subject of our Space Frog painting. The theme is Space Frog, but then we have a challenge. A challenge and a theme. So here we go. And thanks to Stephanie who came up with this idea. I think it's been fun. It's definitely gotten us in here. So here we go. We're going to shake this up. And I moved the previous cats. That one right there. Cats. Battle. Spaghetti. Fifth Element. Nebula. And Inglorious Bastards. There we go. All right, so let me just... We're going to take one out here. Got it. I'm going to close this all up. Whoop. And I know the suspense is killing everybody. I'm going to only take this to a certain length of time today, and then we'll move on to the main painting. Because, yeah. I like these, but I feel like they sometimes take over. So we'll just see how it goes. All right, here we go. I'm ripping it open. Every week I say I'm going to get a drum roll. I forget a drum roll. Whoa. Orange. Just orange. That is awesome. Okay, so a Space Frog theme. Space Frog scene, just orange. It's funny when you do like a color like this. You could either celebrate the color orange, or I can go literally with an orange, a fruit. Not a lot to hold on to with this one. However, the nice thing about orange is it actually is. It plays well with the color green, and Space Frog is green. And it also plays well with blue, blue being kind of the actual complement of it. Green sort of tertiary, depending on how the case would be. So that's the partial color of a poison dart frog. It is. That's right. Trying to think of what else. Space Frog riding an enlarged orange. They're black and orange. Oh yes, that's right. They've got the spots, the black and orange spots, don't they? Yeah, I do remember that. That's pretty cool. All right. Bump, ba bump, 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 bump. All of our colors on the board here are pretty bright, so I feel like taking a. I'm gonna paint it right over here. In fact, what do I have for my orange? I've got a and it's not oranges, right? It's just orange. Clockwork. Oh, oh, Rhonda. Rhonda dropping in for the win. Yes, yes, indeed. How you doing, Rhonda? How are you doing this week? Thank you for dropping in, Rhonda, for the win. Yes, indeed. In fact, the color orange shall not be harmed in the making of this painting. All right, let me get this set up. I'm gonna pull this on in. Let's get this on down here. Make sure we got some. Yeah, if the focus or the sound is off, everybody just let me know, and I will be happy to address it. I am very excited. All right, my droogs. Okay, let's see here. I just want I'm looking for paint. Carbon black. There we go. We've got ourselves a little bit of a brush here and a thing. There we go. We got two of those. We got a thing. Will this brush do nicely? Sounds like it. Thank you so much. Awesome. We are proceeding. Yeah, for those that were just joining, I've been chasing some sound and static gremlins. I'm pretty convinced that it is electrical, and it is the result of my bad office. Orange skin space frog riding a nuke. I like that. You're not really here. Haven't seen anything, Rhonda. Your secret is safe. I don't know who you are. Yes, we do. Okay, very good. Now, Bob, that reminds me of Slim Pickens from one of my absolute all-time favorite movies, Dr. Strangelove, and how the whole Dr. Strangelove title. Yes. What in the wide world of sports? Oh no, and that's one of my other. They're Blazing Saddles. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so again, I'm going to go straight from memory here, right? So I have to think about. What was the? I can picture. That's exactly what it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Whoa. Oh, that is so tempting. Oh my gosh. Fella could have a good weekend in Vegas with all of that. Oh yeah. So the way this is going to work out is it needs a bowler. Oh, since it needs the bowler, we're going to start there. Now I have the soundtrack music, the Wendy / Walter Carlos soundtrack going in through my head, which is really great. I thought Dr. Strangelove was good for one viewing. Sacrilege. Help me with the bowler here, folks. This is going to be very important. If I don't get bowler right on this, I am doomed on this one. Sacrilege. I had an instructor, a teacher, if you will, in high school who used to bring in movies for you'd get to that end of the year, and it's just, let's bring in a movie. That's what that's what happens sometimes. Yes, and Doctor Strangelove was one of the ones he brought in on VHS, which is great because you have an hour-long class. So whenever he brought a movie in, it killed 2 days, which was really great. So yeah. All right, we've got this one. We're gonna do. Okay, we need the official Space Frog eyes. And the funny part about this is that it's kind of going to be just sort of sitting on his head. Barely. And now it was an eyelash, right? It was basically like this. This one's going to be creepy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, 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 yeah. We're just going to go with it. It basically he wore the let's see, what else did they have? What else did they have? It was I'm not putting the nose. I'm not putting the fake nose. I'm not putting the polystyrene nose on Space Frog. That would yes. This would have to be. Oh, right. I remember. I was thinking he had something in his hand, but yes, he did. It just takes me a second, right? It's jumping the tracks. I've got Deep Space Nine in my brain, which, in spite of it being one of the most tense Star Treks, it is still Star Trek, and so it doesn't really have the same cachet of murderous intent that something like this does. I haven't seen this movie in a while. In fact, I need to track this one down. Um, and then so about that Firefly reboot. Oh Jesus. Hey, good one, Anu. Wow. Yeah, I don't know about that. Whoa, you know, there was a time that I would have celebrated that, but eh. I think that is that's a show that exists in a period of time, much like Farscape, that sort of existed at the same time, as a matter of fact. And yeah, I kind of feel like maybe not. I don't know. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore Firefly. So don't I'm not a hater at all. All right, let me complete his chin here. Let's see. We're gonna do some foreshortening of the of this. Well, oh boy. I usually go with the director's cut of Blade Runner as your favorite film. Good choice. Yeah, it's hard to pick a favorite. Right? Like I've kind of developed scale. What is it? A sliding scale of favorites. I mean, there's a lot of movies I will come back to that I don't particularly think are good movies, but I enjoy them anyway. I will continue to watch um, the 40-year-old version because I think it's a silly movie and it cracks me up, and I hope that it isn't completely off off the agenda because I still love that movie. Okay, I need this now. Bum, 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 bum. Anything with more Kaylee is a win. Oh, she's awesome. You know, actually, we were in uh, I, when I was at a convention, a Galactica convention in Seattle. Gosh, when was this? Is back at 2015 or so? I forget. If Steve Iverson, if you're ever watching, Steve, let me know. What year was that you and Frank came out to Seattle for Galacticon? Because it was so it was such a crazy convention. Anyway, Kaylee was there, and I remember at the time she was pregnant, so it was kind of like that was cool. She was really awesome as one of the guests. I know she wasn't Galactica, but they had a lot of non-Galactica people, right? So I'm trying to depict um, the milk bar without depicting the milk bar dispensers, right? But the other thing about Kubrick films is there's a lot of black and white, and so I'm thinking there was like a big mirror behind everybody in here, and that's where I was kind of trying to pull it into. Da da. There we go. Um, but yeah, I feel like with regards to Firefly, because they sort of did a wrap up movie, Serenity, which I feel did a really good job with their story. My personal feeling is that that has now slid into history. That's just me. But you know what? If they do something that's really cool, yeah, I'll give it a shot. Make sure you start with the second season. Right? What? Wait, did I miss that? Oh wait, the second season. Well, yeah. Anyway, so um, yeah. Although I'm going to say this, I've had a lot of fun with some of the shows that have come up recently that are completely not reboots or extensions, sequels. Uh, Severance is absolutely one of my favorite sci-fi shows in the last so many years. That just absolutely hits the mark for me. I think they did a fantastic job and are doing a fantastic job, and I hope they keep it up. Um, yeah. Da, 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 da. All right, and then I'm going to put in this is kind of an abstracted background, but I think it will communicate what's happening because this is what comes to my mind. Okay. And honestly, that to me is orange. Boom. You have not checked that out yet. Oh, the Serenity movie. It was good. It's a good wrap up of the show. But yeah. Okay, that is my favorite thing about this. I don't know if I'm going to add color to it, but I love the fact that it has a specific color in the name orange, and it does not at all use the color. How did I do on the bowler? How did I do on the bowler? Did I get the bowler kind of right? I hope so. Yes. Anyhow, the goal for this was originally to be something that would go pretty quickly like this. Let's pull this up here. Anyhow, let's put this over here. There we go. See, we're getting some blue in there. Alrighty. Oh, Severance. Forgive me. Oh, Severance. Okay, cool. Yeah, Severance is good. It's not spacey science fiction, right? But don't know what that was. Not sure what that was. Tape. Anyhow, how fun. Thank you for the suggestion, Rhonda. I loved it. All right. I'm gonna set that one out of the way. Pull the cards back in. I just want to keep everything in here because it might all go into the yes. There might be some relevance to having all of this stuff. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, Severance. Okay, so yeah, the Dust Channel here on YouTube has indie sci-fi short films. It does, yeah. I've seen a few of those that are really cool. But they remind me of sort of the, it's the YouTube version of the Twilight Zones and Outer Limits, the anthology shows, which I think is actually very cool. I've considered making a pitch of some kind. I've noted. Let's put it this way. I've noted that there are options like the Dust Channel for short films. I like it black and white. Thank you. I do too. That's the black and white one. I love that. That's the only one that's got a color. Alrighty, we're gonna move some stuff out. I'm gonna moving out the acrylics for the evening, unless I come back to them. And what do I have here today? So I broke out. We're gonna do something fun tonight. I broke out broke out my oils. So yeah, we're gonna do a little oil painting. Little bit, I should say. There we go. I've actually already taken the time to put together a palette. There we go. So I got some colors here. Boom, 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 boom. For me, it would be a toss-up between the Maltese Falcon, His Girl Friday, or Harvey. Oh my gosh, those are oh man, see now. Right, David? All of those. Every one of those. Absolutely. And then you get to like Sunset Boulevard. Oh my gosh. I swear every time Sunset Boulevard's on, I will absolutely sit through the whole thing. Anyway, cool. RMS Titanic asks, curious how you recreate the style of 1960s NASA concept art. Hey, good question there. Let me, in fact, I've got a reference I can show you. I've got one that we did on our live stream. Hang tight. Let me see here. So, all right, grab this one and this one. Okay. Here we go. Let me move off my paint so I don't contaminate a finished painting with that. So the question comes up: how do you recreate the style of 1960s concept art? And I'm going to show you. I know this is kind of a funky cartoon, right? I realize it technically isn't NASA concept art. Here, let me pop my face off here. Boom. But and this was we did this one in January, I believe, which still cracks me up, and I want to do a bigger version of it. So there's a couple of, and actually this painting too is made with a similar style. I used gouache, not gouache. I used casein on this, which is it's similar to gouache. So what you want to do is it's like an illustration. Make sure you get your good drawing down, right? Do your background. I like setting the scene with a background, but they were all done. Those kinds of bits of artwork were mostly painted pieces. Sometimes they were done with like marker and stuff, but they were done very similarly to advertisers. And of course, a lot of those people had industrial design backgrounds. So industrial designers will do. Oh man, in the 1960s. They were using all the good. They were using all of the really good solvents in their styles in their painting. So it would be nothing for them to fill up on a gallon of xylene and go to town with some marker ink and create renderings. But for the most part, I try to keep it down to get your tight drawing. So instead of instead of this is a UFO, this is like say the the Gemini space capsule in orbit, and you would want to paint the scene. So get the drawing down, right? So make sure you've got a technical drawing of your spacecraft or whatever it is that, aircraft, NASA. It could be air and space. It could be, but I always think of space, right? Same thing on here. You get your shape down right, and then it just kind of becomes an illustration exercise, filling in the colors and going. And honestly, a lot of those were done on the quick, right? So if you were working for, say, Boeing or Northrop, Lockheed Martin, any number of these agencies, you would be on task with like coming up with 5-7 of these by Thursday, right? So they're good only because people practice them a lot. So if you want to do that kind of illustration, I would highly recommend getting yourself some good illustration board. A lot of them I've seen were done either on illustration board or watercolor paper, any of that kind of stuff, hot press boards, marker paper in some kind. There weren't things that were necessarily intended to last forever, which is what's really cool. But yeah, spill a gallon of xylene after reading that for an hour. What happens to your brain? Oh, if you made it an hour, you'd be great. Yes. Oh my gosh. But that's no joke. When you do big marker renderings, it's just we were using all sorts of crazy stuff. I remember they were still selling xylene as what was it? Oh, it's the thinner for contact cement, right? So we had some stuff that was like I remember we made these really thick, like a marker is, I don't have any on me. A marker though is like this wide, and we were doing we were doing markers that were basically like this wide. By you do a cloth, wrap it up, hit it with a clamp, and then just dip it into your stuff, and now you've got like a foot wide marker, and your paper, by the way, is full size. It's great. Yeah, happy times. This is what we do to get the good effects. Anyhow, alrighty. Thank you everyone for sticking around here. We're gonna get on to part 2 of our painting today. Which one are we gonna use? I think we're gonna use this one. So I have a bunch of 6x6 canvases. Let me see here. What do I want to do? I want to do this. There we go. So it's going to go. That's where our painting surface is. Okay, cool. All right. So 6x6 canvases. These are 6 inches by 6 inches. I'm going to do some. We're going to do some space. We're going to do a little space painting. I've got a few of them. I actually have a thinner one here too. I can always do that one on a thinner one. Oh, this one has. Yeah, this one actually has black 3.0 on it, but unfortunately it got scuffed, so it doesn't have quite the same effect. But we'll keep that one handy. So yeah, I actually have stacks of these. And they're already pre-painted black. We're going to do some space art, everybody. There we go. In fact, today, the first space art subject is a request by chat. Yay! Actually, this request came in, probably back around September. It was just before like everything exploded and I stopped streaming for a while. My apologies, everybody. Thanks for sticking around, by the way. This came in from I found the note actually. Wes. Wes came up with this one a while back. Maybe I still have that one on here. Do I still have it on the site? Let me just double check here for reference. See if my website wants to actually come up. There we go. We did a painting of the Pillars of Creation back around, oh gosh, let me see, back around, it was last year. Do I have a photo of it? Let me see if I got a photo of it. Nothing wants to work. Nothing wants to work. Okay, cool. My website, I'm getting very sick of my website, honestly. It's really annoying to me. Okay, I don't even have that. This is me being unprepared, unfortunately. Or print? No. All right, never mind. Anyway, Pillars of Creation. Can't look it up on my site. The heck, people? Boom. Yeah, saw it on my store. Yeah, oh, you did see that one. Okay, cool. Thank you. I'm trying to pull out my store. For some reason, my machine's going, you cannot open your store. Very weird. All right. Okay. So while I was doing Pillars of Creation, Wes suggested I do Pillars of Destruction, and we feature a nebula that's shaped like. Well, maybe I should just go for it. I'm just going to go for it. Anyway, Wes, thank you very much. I'm crediting you tonight with the idea for tonight's live stream painting, shall we? All right. I got to find myself a good brush. Let's see here. Good brush. Doesn't even have to be a good brush, actually. It could be like a real nasty brush. I think I'm going to do the nasty brush. I'm going to do the nasty brush. There we go. This is an older round brush that I have. Oh, it's really frail. Okay, cool. That's all right. So, let me get myself a nice teal first. Alrighty. There's a lot of teal in this painting, but so we're gonna get that. We're gonna do a little touch of yellow to brighten it. A little touch of white here. I'm not gonna need a lot of paint, right? Because this is a small canvas. I'm gonna need more teal than that. There we go. This teal is it's a cobalt teal, and it's a little bit older. So I have some. I mixed up a little bit of linseed oil, and instead of I have a medium that is made by Gamblin, solvent-free fluid. So this is going to make it basically going to thin it down, make it dry faster, that sort of thing. There we go. I need to also tone it down just a little bit. So when you have a blue and you want to tone it down, grab a touch of orange. Just grab a little touch of orange. It'll gray it up just enough to keep it going. I definitely have cat hair in this. I don't know if you can see it. I'm pulling at least one cat hair around. I don't understand how that could possibly have happened. But yeah. Oh, I don't have enough of this at all. I keep doing this. I keep doing this to myself. So we're just going to redo this a little bit so I actually have enough damn paint to do what I'm trying to do. There we go. Yeah. I've actually been painting with oils for the last week or so, including Deep Space Nine. So it's pretty fun. This stuff is great. I love having oil paint on hand because it's a nice way to do up the details on your models like that. Pretty fun. All right, there we go. My God, I swear I just let a cat through here. Cat hair adds structure. You're right. It totally does. Adds the structure that we need. So the other thing I was going to do for this painting, I wanted to demonstrate kind of a, I'm going to see if I can't, how do I want to do this? Let's put this over, if I put this over here, you'll all be able to see it. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, there we go. I'm going to move my paints up and out of the way. I know this all, I swear at some point I'll have settled out and this will work. This will all feel great at some point, right? Okay. So I'm kind of gonna wet this whole thing down a little bit. Let me grab got a wider brush to do this. I want to try to do this not entirely wet on wet, but sort of wet on wet, if you will. There we go. I guess it is wet on wet. Yeah, a la prima. Yeah. Now that I put that much on, yeah, there we are. You don't need a ton of this, but by just kind of getting a film of your, and this is a mixture of linseed oil with my medium, my solvent-free medium. On many of Bob Ross's paintings, he prepared his canvases this way. Sorry, I forgot to do this before the start of everything, but we're gonna get on it. There we go. So liquid was one of the mediums that I've been using, but I wanted to try the solvent-free stuff because honestly, the liquid with the it's just the odors get to me, especially during winter when I can't open any windows. So that's been exciting to kind of learn. Here we go. All right, I want to get a little bit here in this. All right, there we go. Grab some of my stuff here. Let's call this down. All right, let's see how this is gonna go. I'm thinking. Okay, we want left or right. Here we go. So I'm gonna Yeah, I'm gonna kind of, whoa, yeah, that's okay. We've got this. I should have started with a darker painting, but I think this is gonna work out pretty okay. Or a darker paint, I should say. I think this is gonna work out pretty good. Yeah, there we go. Had a crazy winter this year. We certainly have. Yeah, same with here, to say the least. Although today it's actually quite warm. I am very happy with how warm it is here today. All right, so I'm gonna try a different. I've got some French ultramarine blue. So I want a darker version of this. Ah, my lights. Okay, so I'm getting shadows. I don't like that, but that's okay. We'll work on this. Okay. Wow. I'm terrible about the I'm at a little bit of burnt umber while I'm doing this. I'm really terrible about getting stuff on my hands. One of the disciplines I am not yet onto is the discipline of working with the oil paint in a majestic fashion. So far, the majestic part ain't there. Yeah. We're fairly close to each other. We are, Nanu. Yeah, you know the drill. I regret that the only snow shovel we have is one that we bought in Washington State about, oh gosh, I don't remember how many years ago, right? Probably 10 to 12 years ago. So I don't even have a proper Midwest USA shovel of any kind. It's hilarious. Okay, so I'm getting some gray in here. I'm gonna get this all on. I'm just trying to load up some paint on the edges. I forget who it was that was asking me about oil paints. A couple of weeks ago, someone was asking me oil versus kind of like oil versus acrylic. So I was thinking, you know what? I know I need to get back in and do some oil work. I'm dropping my blue in on top of my gray just a little bit. So I thought this would be a good way to demonstrate it. Let's just see what we can come up with here and show you some of the fun things that we can come up with. Dropping this all in. All right, here we go. But you said nebula. I thought we'd have a nebula. We'll have a nebula. I'm gonna get my little. I've got a thin. What kind of brush would you call this? A thin, scrubby brush. It's my scrubby brush. Whoops, sorry. Bonked my table. Let's see if I can't. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the scrubby brush. That's right. There's sort of a there's a what do you call it? This part, the how oils mix is so satisfying and blend. There's so yeah. I'm going to try to pull just like I did with orange. I'm going to pull this out here. Now, since this is a thicker canvas, I do want to make sure I get some on the sides. So I'm going to actually do that with a few places here to really give it a feel like it's like you're getting a 3D interpretation of the events. So I'm going to just even grab some of this on here. The nice thing is now that we have sort of a a film of fluid down here, all of this stuff is going to blend nicely. So we can add filaments of all of this. There we And I actually have a towel here, so I'm just constantly kind of brushing it off to see how this is going to go. How many of you have seen Shin Godzilla? That was fun. I was talking about this with my pal Andrew a couple of weeks ago. Very, very fun. Winter made up for the heat dome we had last summer. Oh my gosh, the heat dome. Yeah, that was when I had to evacuate the basement because it just got so humid. Yeah, that was exciting. That was nuts. Let me tell you, that was nuts. Holy crap. Yeah, we all remember that well. The heat dome. Now that I'm kind of learning the possible conditions of this neck of the woods, heat domes and craziness, we're going to be making some adjustments. Yeah, we're going to be making some adjustments to the way our house is heated and cooled, I think. But that's just part of learning, right? Part of learning while you're in on it. So there we go. I'm getting my forms down here. What's going on in the middle there? Kind of want that out of there. So I've got to just. I wanted to keep the core of this kind of devoid of any of that stuff. All right, need another. Ah! I'm just throwing my brushes, everybody. Okay, everybody. Here we go. I've got to pull out a little bit more of this fluid right there and get that on in there. There we go. Ba 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 da 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 da. And then the sort of live blending is very pleasant. I find you do get a lot of control. At the cost of losing some ability to do fine detail without a great deal of planning, right? You only have one shovel? That's another problem, right? Fill your outside walls with sand. Oh, you aren't kidding. Whoa. So tempted. One of the problems we had, Nanu, is that because some of our outside walls, old house, are not properly insulated, we had a waterfall. We had a waterfall coming in from probably old ice damage, and this is really the first year we've been in the house when there was when they've had this much of a cold snap. So no real surprises, right? Just kind of like, oh, that's a thing. Okay, oh, that's a thing. Yeah. Too funny. Yeah, only one snow shovel, and it's not even a very good snow shovel, David. Let me tell you, that's the sad part. No, it's all right. It's not meant for the kind of abuse it's getting. Let's put it that way. Oh man, alrighty. Oh, do I have an old brush here? That's okay. I like working with kind of these older brushes. I know I should be just worrying about precision and all of this, but I'm just having fun here, folks. We're just having fun together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab more of my light color here, and as I work it in, I can help it. I need the halo of the tail is what we've got going on here, right? We've got the tail, and I don't think I've got enough of this out here. In fact, the head. There we go. I have a big snow shovel. Oh, you got one of the ones that's on wheels. Oh, we've been seeing those. Just because we don't have a shovel doesn't mean we're not shopping for one. So yeah, we are very much. I want the ones with the wheels, man. Oh my God, it looks so cool. Oh yeah. We want the one with the wheels too. That I full on agree. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Gonna break some of this up there. I'm glad to hear actually that's working well for you too, because honestly, you look at something like this and something like that, and you go, "Is that a gimmick? Is that just a gimmick?" I don't know, but we never had those kind. We never had those kind when we were growing up. I didn't. That was not an option. At least not one that my dad purchased. I don't know. Maybe he was holding out on me. I need a black, so I'm gonna grab some ultramarine blue, a little bit of my burnt umber, and then a touch of my quinacridone magenta. There we go. I'm gonna pull this together into a chromic black because I do need that for the sort of dusty coal part of the middle of this thing, and it's coming off as pretty brown. I'm gonna debrownify it a little bit. There we go. All right. I know this is I don't like the light as it's coming through here. I need to bring this up a little bit more. I'm gonna keep working the lights, folks. You know, things like lights and volume and sound and everything is always going to be an ongoing issue, and hopefully points of improvement. Also, we're taking suggestions. If there's anything you want to see on the live stream, do you want to see more models? Do you want to see more space paintings? Let me know in the comments or drop me a line here, there, or any of the other places I'm at. Cool. About to I am unleashing more things on Patreon, so that's fun. I'm hoping that's becoming more of a fun thing to enjoy. Yes. All right, coming back in over here, and let's see. I need this one right here. Bum 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 bum. How did this one work? I think it needs to be out more like this. Yeah, there we go. I think that's how it's gonna have to go. Trying to get the lighter paint out of my brush. Yeah, you kind of have to overpower it a little bit. There we are. Bum 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 bum. Space paintings. We are space painting it. Yes, indeed. We very much are. And we need like a little bit out here. Yeah. There we go. Oh, yeah. Okay, let me see. How do I want to really pull this one off? I think I need to just go full out, right? We need to just kind of do the thing. The only good thing about winter is it knocks down the insect population. I'm just coming from a part of the world that didn't really have a winter like that per se, and so it's a little I don't know. What the hell was I thinking? No. You know, I grew up in Michigan, so honestly, Pennsylvania winters, about not quite as crazy as Pennsylvania winter. Sorry, Pennsylvania was not quite as crazy as Michigan winters. Not gonna lie, there's just no. I mean, they're further north. Michigan's further north, by all means. So, yeah. And that's one of the reasons why. I mean, it wasn't a primary. I wasn't like one of those people that's like, I hate winter. I got to get out of Michigan. Blah. No, that's not what I did. I just happened to really like Washington State, and Stephanie did too. So we just kind of did our thing and lived out there for a while. And, you know, that's how that works. All righty. The cool thing about this is that if this is hanging on your wall, you're going to be able to like have this kind of like you're going to be able to see the edge of this, and we're just gonna. It's hard because I'm trying to make it accidentally look like what I'm trying to make it look like. So I'll let you all tell me how well I did at pulling that off. I'm not so sure. We'll see. Anyway, okay. Putting this down, and we're gonna just do some smudging. Yeah, there we go. I hate it. You might move to Mississippi. Oh, that's actually not a bad plan because honestly, yeah, yeah, you'll still get like you'll still get the nice seasons, right? But it won't be like insane, right? Louisville. We had considered Kentucky Louisville as one of our possible options we were going to look at, mainly because I've enjoyed my visits to Louisville over the years, primarily as Wonderfest, very Wonderfest specific, right? But yeah, same principle. There we go. Is it Godzilla? Go Godzilla! Woohoo! Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and so what are we gonna do up here? We're gonna kind of pull these over, and then maybe get a little bit on there, and then so it's not just a black block, right? That's just what we're trying to basically accomplish right here. The Pillars of Destruction is what this is specifically. And then my sort of chromic black can interfere nicely and look like, space. Thought of moving to Arizona. Dry heat and legal fireworks. I have enjoyed. I enjoyed the Southwest too. Yeah, the Southwest. Yeah, my pal Andrew managed to land a place in Santa Fe, which is also one of my like, oh, that'd be a good place for a telescope places. And no lie, it would be a good place for a telescope. Okay, let's try this side. I'm trying to sort of give this an intentional appearance to it, right? So there we go. We're going to need this corner to do its thing. All right. We have 4 seasons: hot and humid, not as humid, not. Yeah, you're right. My cousins in Houston and Dallas will Fort Worth, I think, is where they're at now. We'll agree with you there. I think that was last time I was in Texas. Oh, it was a while ago. Might have been 2014, 2013, somewhere along there. I mean, that's how long it's been. I'm sorry to report. Austin is where I was at. I was in Austin. I was flown there for an interview. It was pretty cool, but yeah. Oh, the tail, way too big. Tail too big. Okay, so I need the tail to be more like. We're gonna bring the tail in down here. And then bring it on in, over, and around there. There we go. Boom. And then the black part of the tail has to come down here. And we'll just do a little bit of that. There we go. Oh, where's my other... I have another brush. Yeah, I grabbed another brush here. So I'm just going to... I'm going to do the other brush for this. I'm going to try to drag this in to define the tail in the midst here. This is so silly. There we go. And if you like break up the edges here, it'll kind of make it look like an intentional nebula. Although that's kind of a bent tail, isn't it? That's a bent tail. What the heck was I thinking? Bummer. Yeah, I don't think the tail's working out quite as well as I'd hoped. Oh well. All right, let's try it this way. Am I getting more paint on me? I can't remember. There we go. What do I have to do? I have to come way out here and then down and okay, there we go. It snows every year here in New York City, and every time we get that first snowfall, the city grinds to a halt. The snow piles up, and everyone blames the mayor for not driving the snowplows himself. I got to witness the Jersey City snow remediation experience. My daughter lives in Jersey City with our partner. Yeah, sorry, I shouldn't have revealed that. Anyway, there we go. And yeah, I got to see exactly what you're talking about. It's pretty hilarious, actually. All right, there we go. Gonna leave that. I think I've done enough damage at this point. The painting looks like a Mandelbrot set. I know. It's kind of doing that with these things. Some of the little filigrees are because it's the liquid base that I put on is sort of interacting and melting a little bit. So if you're not careful, you kind of get into a place where you're doing. I don't want to turn this into like a paint pouring session, right? I want to maintain the control, but I do like that sort of Mandelbrot set thing. It cracks me up. Yes, not cracks me up. It's happy accidents, everybody. Yeah, that's all it is. And then I just want to feather these down. There we go. There we are here. Oh, this one up there needs a little bit. There we go. It had been a while since I did any since I've done oils. So honestly, this kind of felt to me like a good thing for the night. And as you kind of just get into it, you sort of see where you're. It becomes sort of hypnotic. I'm not working off of an actual graphic, right? So to me, this is sort of play it as you go. With acrylic paint, it would have dried by now, so there's no way you could come in here and do these fine touch-ups, right? It just becomes, well, as my friend Scott put it, it just becomes like the same material that grocery bags are made out of, just on your paint palette. Oh, that's just fun. It's going to have to be a little hint of the... now, Godzilla has these spiny bits on the back of him. So, yeah. Him, her... Godzilla's had... So Godzilla's like Space Frog. We don't really know what Godzilla is claiming here. So, there we go. All right. I'll let that set up a little bit. In the meantime, let's grab my brush here and let's put this one down there. I've got that round one. I'm gonna grab my. Do I want my flat here? I don't think I want my flat. All right, try to clean off the old stuff here. There, you have 2 seasons: winter and construction. Yeah. Yeah, we familiar with those seasons too, actually. Yes. Okay. All right, let me just take a second here and sort of evaluate what we're doing. Yeah, so we have the Pillars of Destruction so far and in progress. But there's more to it than that, people. There's more to the pillars than this. Oh, there's one. I've been finding all my old brushes. I got a nice little flat one that's sort of just waiting to be unleashed. So let's pull up another color. Now that I've got sort of my teals and greens down, and I do, let's see about. I'm gonna pull my paint palette over here a little bit. All right, I need I want some of this finest. What was this one? Raw sienna? Yeah, raw sienna. A little touch of the blue that we're using here. That way, kind of get a mix to it. It's going to tone it in. They say he's got to go. Oh no! Take a little bit of that. There we go. A little bit of this. It's going to go a little green, but it will still have mostly the yellows to it here, which I need to knock it back a bit more than that. Hang tight. I need to knock this back from here. There we go. there are, to really make this feel like the Hubble palette that is going on. There are definitely some greens involved, and this will help us bring that in without just going straight to, like, say, a yellow, if you will. All right. There we are. Okay. I'm just going to try to keep my palette clean. There we go. Oh, I just touched it. Yeah, there we go. Got painting all over you. It's that sort of night. Alrighty. Grabbing some of my media there. There we go. We're going to need some right along in here. I feel like I'm going to deal with the ground as having, like, this part down here is where it's going to mostly be interference with greens. This will also bring it in line with the actual, the famous, if you will, nebulosity pillars of creation. There we go. So if we have some semblance of the yellows and oranges down here, and then let it sort of drift up a little bit in there. Oh yeah, this is going to do it. Then then his flame breath shot right there, it stays relevant. I'm going to do this side as well. There we go. Okay. I know, now I'm painting sides that you can't see. That's just no fun. That's not entertaining, Chris. Okay, right. Be entertaining. Right. Ah, yeah, pressure's on. Being entertaining. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Mess around with all of this. And yeah, now we can just kind of sink back in here and get a few highlight spots in the midst of this. Bring back our Godzilla shape after toning it somewhat. There we go. Yeah. Gojira. But yeah, I think Shin Godzilla and Shin Ultraman back to back. Highly recommended. I'm such a nerd. Such a nerd. Oh, Blue Oyster Cult? Absolutely. Oh, that was such a classic, you know? I remember when that came out, and I was like, "You've got to be kidding me. They're not doing a Godzilla song, are they?" And yes, they do. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, yes, they did. All right. Oh, that was great. So great. Oh, I know what I needed. I needed some more of this, my liquid here. I'm trying to bring the straight yellow on up into the effect here a little bit. Although I don't think that's going to help it much. Have to go. Hey, David, thanks a lot for dropping by. Make sure that dog gets an... Oh, that's gross. Make sure the dog gets the proper attention that it needs. That's important. Thank you for dropping by, and have a fantastic week. Stay safe out there, everybody. Yeah. Appreciate you coming by. Absolutely. Yeah, let's see if we can't get this in here. Walking the dog, walking the dog. Okay, now I'm going to drop in. I'm going to come in with the white here. And then this kind of becomes an effort of, like, mixing on the board. In this scale, it's weird. I don't know. There's definitely like a scale issue with paint, and by scale I mean when you start working with smaller brushes, the paint is just kind of, I don't know. I don't. This is where I make the mistakes, right? This is where I make the blending mistakes. So I have to be kind of careful. But I do like the I do like the indication that this may be like like maybe this is actually a real nebula. That just cracks me up. I'm entertained by the silliest of things. We're getting a very nice patina in here, though. I will tell you, it is this is working in our favor. I need a smaller brush. That's what I need. I'm going to get myself a smaller brush. I have myself a smaller brush. I'm going to use it. Got a smaller brush, and I'm not afraid to use it. Okay, here we go. All right. So this will make it feel, I think, as if it's a nebula, but at the same time it's the Godzilla Nebula. Hey, how you doing? Greetings. Doing good. We're having a good time here. Welcome aboard. You got here for the main event. We are currently traveling through space to see the pillars of destruction. This is important, right? We're going to do this, right? It's important, yes. Glad to hear it. Thank you. I hope everyone else is doing okay as well. So, yeah. We're all hoping it's picking up. It is too. The more I'm live streaming, the more it's kicking things out of the woodwork, and I like it. I'm having fun seeing a lot of familiar faces show up again, and it's a good time. So yeah, having a good time. Alrighty, what else might I need down here? So this is kind of reading as a nebulosity, if you will. Oh, so yeah, here's the other thing. I've got to turn it over. We're turning the painting upside down a little bit. There we go. Also, so while I'm doing this part of it, I am pursuing adding more things to the Space Art store. It's been a while since I've done some fun merch. So I'm kind of thinking I haven't had a good coffee mug in a while, and I have actually had some requests for a coffee mug. So I think we're going to do a coffee mug. I want to get some new shirts lined up. All that other fun stuff. Themed shirts. Yeah. So yeah, fingers crossed. I know it's all stuff to buy, and if you can, that's great. If you can't, no big deal. That's cool too. I just know that it's kind of fun. I've got a lot of space painting, and I kind of feel like they need to find a new home. I was thinking what would be fun, because Printful has like home decor stuff. I almost want to do like a whole room just in like some of my older space paintings, but do it on like pillows and wall hangings and all that. So it's like as if someone wanted to do an interior design in space art themes. It would be so hokey, because a lot of my stuff is it's fun, but it's not, it almost feels like yeah. Anyway, having fun just thinking about it. Now, Godzilla, of course, has spines all the way down the back that glow around the same time as the fire breath thing. Is that a dinosaur? Yeah, it's Godzilla. It's the pillars of destruction. The pillars of destruction. And yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Don't believe we're on the pillars of destruction. Oh, there we go. It's the Godzilla, officially Godzilla, but I don't think I'm quite getting the whole shape. I know that Godzilla, for instance, has kind of a belly, right? But there's like this whole notion of it really coming together to do the fire breath thing, right? Yeah, I'm gonna get some yellow in here. Maybe I should get some of this over. Yeah, let's get some of that one. Let's do some of that. Yeah. All right. Half of the yeah, just kind of yeah, the eve of destruction. Oh boy. Yeah. Well, we hope that there's still a love and desire of profits at the end of everything, right? Nah. I'm taking a weirdly optimistic approach to things, which is why I'm comfortable just hanging out here with all of you and painting painting Godzillas. All right, so here's the deal. There's also it's not like this has to be an entire space in here, right? There's got to be some segment of breaking up this space a little bit, because not always do the nebulas just be like they're not just all black, right? They've kind of got they've got a thing to them. So there we go. Oh yeah. Bum, 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 bum. I'm gonna get my scrubby brush, scrubby this back in. I just want this to be a hint, right, of there we go, so that it doesn't seem like it's entirely a one solid piece of stuff here. There we go. You're channeling your 1960s self. That's right. Oh, well, good music, right? I mean, come on. I mean, seriously, that's my school bus rides in the morning, where Flint, Michigan, Flint, Michigan area. If you weren't playing country music, you were playing classic rock, which mostly was this stuff from the 60s, which is hilarious, and I loved it. Or the stuff from the 70s, like Pink Floyd The Wall, which was also hilarious. We're going to school, and you're sitting here playing We Don't Need No Education. They're just looking around going, all right, there we go. Message received, sir. Ah, there we go. Thank you, Mr. Gilmore, and all the rest. Yes, Roger Waters. Yeah. Oh, it was fun. Come on, we had a good time. All right. I knew I wanted some lightness in here someplace, but yeah, I think it would be like right along in here. I'm trying to brighten up these areas a little bit, just for the yeah, there we go. And maybe if I grab some of my green here a little bit, I need to do a better job of showing kind of like the paint that I'm using on my palette, that where you'd be able to see what I'm doing. Just grabbing some of my greens, from like these greens over there, to adding them to my white. So I'm not just putting straight white down. I'm actually kind of working this in. Yeah, that's what we wanted. Oh, so okay. While I'm doing this, here's a fun one to watch this week. I don't know. Did I mention this last week? Katie Sackhoff, actress, was who apparently prefers just Kate, which is awesome. So Kate Sackhoff, Kate for you. Just in case you're watching, I don't think you are, but still, she's never watched Galactica, even though she played Starbuck in it. And I don't blame her. This is kind of I've known a few people in the acting professions, and it is a common thing. Like, I'm not watching myself. Are you kidding me? That's gross. And I get it. I hate editing my videos of my stuff because I hate listening to myself, and I'm just like, oh, why did I say that? Oh, it's so gross. It's terrible. Anyway, Kate Sackhoff and her husband are watching the 2003 Battlestar Galactica all the way through on her YouTube channel. And she's got a Patreon too, but don't support her Patreon. Support my Patreon first. They're the worst. Anyway, yeah. So, but what's really funny about it, I think she's really enjoying it, and I absolutely love the stories and just kind of her remembering the days that she shot this stuff. But first off, Galactica is a good show. If it's your first watch through of Galactica, even she and her husband say, "Don't just go watch it first, and then come back and catch her reaction videos to it." But it's been epic. I've really enjoyed it. Good times. It gets my thumbs up, by the way. So there you go. For this week's viewing pleasure, Starbuck became Stardo. Yeah. Yeah. She was saying how they got booed at their first Comic-Con. People hadn't even seen the miniseries yet, but they'd heard the news, and so she and Jamie Bamber, who plays the Apollo in the newer series, showed up at this at a Comic-Con, and the minute they came out, without having seen it, people booed them. I'm like, that's bullshit. That's such bullshit. Oh my gosh, frack me. Exactly. Even I was like, oh, they're making Starbuck a girl? Okay. What's that about? Oh, Ron Moore? Oh, okay. Yeah, Ron Moore. Okay. That's about as far as I got with it. I was like, all right, we just watched him deal with Deep Space Nine. Of course they're going to do stuff like that. That's fun. I withheld as I do with all new shows. I'm going to see what they did with it, right? And I'm glad that I did, because I think, I truly think that the 2003 Battlestar Galactica is one of the finest pieces of television, regardless of science fiction or not. It was really good. I will die on that hill. It's one of the best shows that I've seen. Now, it doesn't say it's perfect, right? There no show is perfect at all. Don't get me wrong. It ain't that. It's about 10 years old, but Disturb's version of Sound of Silence is excellent and haunting. I've heard that. I think I just rubbed paint on my face. Houdini Bob, I have heard that one. That was really good. In fact, that kind of caught me off guard. I had to go. I heard it, didn't know who it was, and I had to go look it up and track it down. It was really cool. Dirk Benedict played Starbuck. Yes, he did. And then Face. Yep. Two very extroverted characters, but in real life he's very introverted. Oh, fuck that. He is not introverted. Oh my god. No, he is not. Holy shit. He is so not introverted. Oh my god. No. Oh my god. Edie, I've met him a few times at conventions. It's been a long time, honestly. Last time I ran into him was 2007. I actually did it on one of my videos. No, he's not an extrovert, or he's not an introvert. Anyway, yeah, go see him in person. My short story of Dirk Benedict is at 10, like I was like maybe 10 years old, 11, whenever the show came out, right? It was no, so I was like 11 or 12. Yeah, I was 11 or 12, whatever it was, 79, 80. They'd finished the show, right? He played Starbuck for a season of Battlestar Galactica, and Dirk Benedict he didn't have another show lined up, and so what he used to do was he was in touring theater groups that would go through like the Midwest, upper state New York, all that kind of stuff, and he was in Oklahoma. So my dad, mom grabbed my brother and I, and we went to Whiting Auditorium in Flint, Michigan, and saw Dirk Benedict in Oklahoma. And I brought my little books. I wanted to, afterwards wanted to get an autograph. But during the stage production, he faked an injury where his hand was injured, and came out and apologized to the whole crowd that I couldn't sign signatures, right? So I was bugged. I was an annoyed kid. Fast forward like 20 years later, and I ran into him at Wonderfest. And in fact, oh wait, yeah, I've got his signed autographed photo card. It's upstairs. And I absolutely threw down my $20, which is about what some of the actors will ask for for the walk up and say hi and get a signed autograph. It's very cool. I did it, and I told him that story. And he laughed. He was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. I forgot. I used to do that in every production." And the cast was getting all pissed at him about it. No, but he's like, he told me, he says, I hadn't thought about that. This is Dirk speaking. He said, I had the most fun doing shows like Oklahoma. He did a few others, right? It was just, it got him out of it wasn't in front of the cameras. He loved stage, stuff. That was kind of like what he did. Which is really cool. And I told him, hey, I looked at him, I said, you should be giving me this one for free. No. It was great. No, he's fun. Yeah. But no, I will tell you, he ain't an introvert. I mean, anyway, yeah. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Yeah. It was very clear very early on, and from great distance, what Dirk Benedict felt about everything. I will tell you that. Anyhow, all right, folks. So we're working through our 6x6-inch pillars of destruction. All right, I got to take a quick break. Thank you all for sticking around here. I'm going to run real quick. I'll be right back. And don't go away. I'm going to finish up. Oh, he's 81, Wes. Oh, I bet. Yeah, he was. Yeah, 81. I'll say this. He looked good. He had a cancer scare. Excuse me. I think it was right around the time of doing Galactica and A-Team, right? But yeah, he managed to pull around it, and that was good for him. So yeah. All right. Anyway, stick around, everyone. I will be right back. I won't be long. 5 minutes, right? Boom. There we go. And we'll come back and finish up our little pillars of destruction. Hang tight. Alrighty, everybody, coming on back. Here we go. Alrighty, thank you so much for joining me on a Friday afternoon on the live stream. Thank you. Hello, prostate cancer. Oh, okay, cool, awesome. Well, Dirk Benedict. Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember what kind it was. Well, good for him for dodging it. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. I appreciate it. Here on our Friday afternoon, I'm going to drop in a couple of links. If you want to follow along with the live stream, we're going to be live every Friday about this time. Also, let me know. Drop me in chat or in my Discord here, which I'm leaving you. If the time isn't working for you or you have other suggestions, let me know. I'm willing to change it. When you're as good looking as Benedict is when you're young, you never get ugly even when you get old. Oh, I thought he was a very attractive older gentleman. I absolutely agree. He held himself very, very well, and it was very cool to see him. There we go. Awesome. All right. Also, if you're interested, the pillars of creation that this is based on, I have in my store right there. Also, if and again, no pressure, but if you're so inclined, follow along on my Patreon. You're going to see some really cool behind-the-scenes stuff. And we are working on some cool things, absolutely, making it worth our while. So, anyhow, thank you very much, everybody. Yeah, I'm trying to nail everything down to the point where I can fire these up and work through it. Obviously, the model, that's kind of fun. And also, if the model stuff is boring, let me know. I don't have to keep doing models. It's just sometimes I get on a swing, and that's the project that I'm doing this week. It just happens that way. So I don't think there's going to be any point where I'm not going to be building models, at least until I croak. Who knows? I have enough of them. So, but I don't want to turn it into entirely the model building stream. All right, let's swing on back to it and wrap up our pillars of destruction. And, I'm using oils, which is great. I do enjoy them. And what I like about them is that, I have my tray of stuff here, paint, my palette. The nice thing about oils is you can just kind of set this away. And as long as you haven't mixed any of the medium in, it probably isn't going to immediately dry up on you like acrylics will. So, okay, cool. I am going to need, what am I going to need here? I'm going to grab, I keep grabbing this is a mixture of my medium, this Gamblin solvent-free medium, and a little bit of linseed oil, the base oil. I need some bright magenta here, and a little bit of white. Grab some white. I need a good pink. The stars, as you would see them in these Hubble shots, had sort of a weird chromic effect, which is just because they're very, very bright. But we're gonna put a star or two in here that is very bright, and one of them is we could actually just put it like right. If I do an eye, it's gonna be so obvious, right? We can't do that. Let's do it. Let's do a star out here. I'm going to do this one first. So I'm going to put in this pink. There we go. I'm kind of just going to drop this on in. Maybe need a little bit more white. Yeah, there we go. There we go. We're going to get at least one star in there. I'm going to do this on a couple more places. There's going to be one more right here. This one's going to be like a glare, so it's going to be a little bit wider, a little brighter. I want to get my music back going again. I lost my my paid account on what was it again? What was I use? Epidemic Sound has some really great music, and that's what I was using primarily for some of the music. I think I was on Spotify for a while. I'm kind of off Spotify for a bit, so I don't think I'm going to go back to Spotify, right? I think I'm just done with them for now. But I'm also working on the long term. I have so much music on like CD and stuff. I just need to rip myself or find myself a couple of the albums I'd accumulate, or a couple of the playlists I'd accumulated over the years. They're just all on older computers. So yeah. all of that kind of stuff. Bring some more music back in. Of course, YouTube's weird about their music. You know, using music on their live stream. It's not like the heady days of Twitch when I could just put in whatever I really wanted. That was pretty fun. I took advantage of that. So we're going to put a couple of stars in inside the Godzilla zone, just a bit there. There we go. And let's do a little bit of yellow on this one. There we go. A little bit of yellow on this one. All right. Kind of a weird... I kind of got them in a row. I didn't like that so much. Let's get another small one there. And I am going to flick some stars. Don't get me wrong. So I am gonna do that as well. But I just needed a few of these to... Oh, whoa, boy. There we go. Need a few of these down here. Maybe over there. And probably some on the sides. These are what I would call the hero stars. And I'm doing these in kind of a light mauve. There we go. Let's put some on the bottom. And then the side. Oh, we got some room for some on this side over here. There we go. Oh, not that way. This way. There we go. Okay, there we go. Boom, shakalaka boom. I need some bright white. That's what I really need. So I'm just going to grab some of this, and munge it on through. There we go. Actually, I don't want to use this mixture for my stars. It'll be a little too diluted. So I'm going to use a different pile of stuff for that. I forget. As a constellation, paint Ghidra on the side. Well, hey Wes, I'm kind of thinking. Okay, so maybe this is a series of like the pillars of destruction, right? And I think Ghidra is going to need their own, and maybe there's a Mothra one. So yeah, like I said, I have a lot of these. I have tons of these, actually. I probably have a stack of about 12 this size. Oh, and then I have like 36 this size. So I bought a bunch of these a while ago just before the move. I'm kind of thinking of trying to find a fun way to mess with them. Anyhow. All right, let me get out a thing here. What do I need here? I need a... You know what I'm going to use? I think I'm going to use this. I'm going to put my white paint for the stars in here. In fact, let's just do that. Let me grab some. It's not going to be entirely white because I sort of ditched on it a little bit, but you know, it'll be white enough. It'll be white enough for you, old man. Okay, get some white paint in there. There we go. A little bit more. Let's do a little bit more. The Mothra Supernova Remnant, right? Well, you know, it kind of reminds me, Wes, of like, you know, they came up with the Pac-Man Nebula, right? Which I always thought was pretty hilarious. Obviously named later, right? So let's do a little drop of my solvent-free medium here. There we go. Get that mixed up. So yeah, it cracks me up. I love the idea of like maybe they're finding these nebulosities out here and they're naming them based on what they look like, which is what they're doing. All right, let's just see here. Here we go. I'm going to see if I can swing it together with this. All right. Just going to mix this all up. Like I said, I just want to thin this down. I don't have very good luck thinning down my oil paints for stars. Oh, that is outside. Cool. Awesome. All right, cool. So springtime, everyone's going to be getting their damn cars out and motorcycles and all that other fun stuff. Yay! It's all cool. All right. I have my windows open. Good old NGC 281. Yes. We remember it. Okay, so I think for this one I'm gonna use this brush as my star flinging brush, and I'm gonna do this right now. We're gonna grab some stuff on here. Now I'm not gonna just do this straight up on this one. I want to do a test first. So let's pull this out of the way. Now let's use this little one right here. Let's just see how this goes. Okay, ready? We're gonna do a little star test on here, everybody. Boop. Oh, look at that. Oh, that was pretty cool. That's not bad at all. Okay, I think I could work with this. I got my star flinging stuff. I am so frustrated. I don't have a good animated icon yet in this over here in YouTube land. I am still looking to get my damn animated icon of the this one right here. This is supposed to be flinging. There we go. That is supposed to be flinging stars. It makes me cranky. Okay, here we go. Let's get some stars on this one. Shall we, everybody? Shall we get some stars? Here we go. All right. And move my head out of the way. There we go. Moving that out of the way there. All right, let's see if we can do this. Boop. There's some stars. Let's do some more of it in the top. Boop. More than that. More than that. There we go. And then we're going to do the side over here. I think I'm getting it all over my monitor. And there we go. There we are. Not thinned down enough. So we're going to do some on this side. Yay. Can you say fling stars on YouTube? No! It's a euphemism! Oh, these kids with their leet. There we go. These are some pretty fine stars. I think I needed a little bit more of this fluid, but we're gonna go with it anyway. All right, let's get this on here, and then get some more right there. There we are. Yay! Well, we got a few. We got a few on there. We got some star flinging. Yes, star flinging. Here's star flinging. Blah 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 blah. No, the sheriff is a what? Oh, sorry. All right, here we go. Let me grab this one. It's a euphonium. That's right. I think we can say whatever we want to on here. All right, get some nice brightness up here. Brightness, you say? Yes, we are. We're gonna get some brightness. Get some brightness over here. I'm going to add a couple, just random, add a brightness dot to these. There we go. It's flickage. Exactly. And, oh, there's one down here, too, that I didn't really see there. There we go. But I want to make sure that it just sort of looks like you're looking through a telescope and you see this thing, or you pull it up in your camera, you know, after an evening of doing about 150 sub exposures, that sort of thing. Yeah. There we go. Very, very cool. Oh, yeah. I'm actually pretty happy with this one. It's just vague enough to be exciting, right? My skills at doing the nice happy dotted stars with oils is I just need more practice. There we go. Oh, that looks I like just this strip right here. Look at those fun colors. There's the cyan, a little magenta in there. Oh, this is going to be a very nice painting. This is going to be a very nice painting when it's done. Yes. Awesome. And you know, if you want to see some of the, I'm doing these pretty small, right? But if you ever want to see these larger, let me know. I'm opening up the options. You know, you're welcome to drop me a line. Open to suggestions as we go. But this is good. This has been fun. Boom. What am I forgetting? Is what I want to know here. I think what I'm forgetting is a little bit of I know what I'm forgetting. I always build these paintings up with with an intention to do, to really do the warm colors, right? And I feel like to make a color really stand out, you sort of have to balance it with the complement. It's just the way I do. I'm a dirty. Oh, need an eye? Oh yes, yes, need an eye. I have a little oranger color here, so I'm kind of gonna bring all this in just a little bit. An eye, an eye. I'm almost afraid to, but I will. But I want to dance in a little bit of orange in amongst all of these colors, which will really, yeah, just a. This is supposed to be flame anyway, so I kind of like having some warmer colors in the region here. Just sort of playing with the with all these teals. Oh man, I tell you what, I'm getting overloaded with the darker colors on this brush. Ah, okay. It's funny. I go from medium to medium. This is this is a problem, right? I keep jumping from oils to acrylics and all of it, and by doing that, you kind of forget the basics sometimes. Well, it's a little bit like driving a bike, riding a bike. You do keep it up, but at the same time, I ain't doing myself any favors. All right. So I think that if we're gonna do an eye, it needs to be a deep red right there. It's going to be a deep red eye, like red. In fact, since I have the red, I'm going to go ahead and just do this. Putting my CD on the bottom of it there. There we go. Okay, now grab just a touch of the yellow there. Oh, that's looking kind of cool. I wish I could show that up close. Driving a bike is like cooking bread. Yeah, driving a bike, it's like cooking bread. Right, driving a bike. You're right. I'm going to inject the marijuanas. Yes. There we go. Yes, a red super giant. I don't know if it's hard to. There's a little the yellow and oh, it's going out of focus there. There's a little yellow dot in the middle of the red field. So there we go. This is Go Go Godzilla. Yahoo! Oh baby. Let me see if I can pick this up. This wet painting, and I present to you the Pillars of Destruction in blue and apparently in... There we go. Okay, cool. There we go. We have the Pillars of Destruction 6x6. I've been dying to do this one for a while, so this is just fun. And it's got a little, you got a little action on the sides, little action on there, so it's a complete scene, really. Awesome. Put that on your wall. People will be like, when did you see that one? No. That's cracking me up. Awesome. Okay, so we have this one. This is from, I have to find a nice happy place for this to hang out and dry. So I will be probably relegating it to the wall behind me. All right. And then we also had, let me wipe off my hands here. From earlier this evening, our Space Frog candidate. It is, I don't have enough room. This one right over here. And this one was orange. Orange. It's 3D. Yes, it is. It's 3D. We are in 3D. Our Space Frog of the week. Keeping it very simple. I don't know. I'm gonna look at it and think about it. Maybe I'll add a little bit. I could do one of the xenomorph too. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Gamera, the flying turtle. There we go. my gosh. Yes, awesome. So we could do the xenomorph. I like the idea of keeping it kaiju, right? So you could do the you could kind of do the whole line. Yeah, like you say, the Ghidra, Mothra. You could do a Rodan. That was always a fun one. Or Yangari, monster from space. Yogg. What was the one that looked like a gigantic squid? No orange though. I have orange in there. Oh yeah, right. Oh, I'm sorry. On the orange painting. No, no orange on that. No. See, that's the thing, right? Clockwork orange. Ha 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 ha! Oh yeah, my droogies. It is the clock. I have to double check the eye. Like the eye makeup is the thing that's gonna sell that. Oh yeah, Gamera with black hole X-ray jets shooting out of the shell. Oh, totally. Oh, I like that idea a lot. Hey, Arts of Space is here. How you doing today, Arts of Space? Greetings. You see, I'm wondering if I'm starting my live stream too early on Friday. You know, I feel like I need to either just go longer or I need to start it earlier. You please, everybody, let me know. But what we have here is the official. Wait. We need an Wes. We need an NG. What's the NGC designation for the Pillars of Destruction? Right? Like we need a maybe it's not NGC. This certainly isn't the Messier catalog. So yeah. How you doing, Arts of Space? Good to see you. And yes, and yes, live long and prosper as well. I want all of you to live long and prosper. I want you all to be safe and happy. And safe and not going mental like me. So thank you. Very cool. No, and we did this one today in oils, which I thought was really fun. I really enjoyed that. But I don't know if I've got I don't have another painting in me. I absolutely do not at the moment. I have more that I need to do, but yeah. Doing well already. We're doing pretty fine. Does anyone know what NGC stands for? Yes, the National Gothic Coordination. No, I'm making stuff up. Yes. Astronomy catalog primarily. That's one of the catalogs of astronomy stuff. And my brain is forgetting the New Galactic Count. Thank you. Sort of like Encyclopedia Galactica, right? No, it's more like an atlas. The Atlas of the. Oh yeah, by the way, nothing extraordinary. It's just water today. Nothing too fancy in the water department. But yeah, so. If you want to see more models, I think I'm going to be adding an extra live stream just for models. That's going to be one. And the other one I want to do is, as some of you know, we do have a cat rescue that we've been on. We have 19 cats, which is the end result of us rescuing and doing TNRing a bunch of there were a lot of feral and stray cats in the area, so we got a pile of them taken care of. They've all been fixed, which has been great. So for the last year and a half, it's stabilized. It's what this area needed. At least every third or fourth house should be somebody doing this, but they're not. So yeah. So but we have the cats and they're adorable. I don't let them in here much because honestly, this is like where all my project stuff is, and they destroy everything. And I really need to be able to live in chaos and not worry about cats messing stuff up. They do come in and hang with me for a while. I don't have any right now. Am I gonna kit bash my own unique model designs? Sort of, Edie. I have done a lot of kit bashing of my own. I'm kind of just building ships I like right now. And a couple of the ships I want to do will involve some amount of kit bashing. But GSC 1954. Oh, I'm writing that one down. But see, here's the thing. Where's a good pen? Yes. Brilliant. GSC 1954. In fact, I'm just gonna make sure we've got that. Let's like right up next to it right here. Yeah. There we go. So like, okay, so for instance, I have a lot of models I've been wanting to build for a very long time, big models, right? So Deep Space Nine there, which I just had. In fact, I'll bring it back up while this one's drawing. Here, hang on, let me pull this out. Let me do a little quick reset-a-voo here. I'm gonna set this aside. Aha! Gather my forces, if you will. There we go. So I don't want to get any more on here. Let me grab it. Because I don't think so. Some of you came in later and might have missed it. If you got sick of watching my models, I'm sorry. I'm adding another model to the mix. How did I do this? There we go. GSC 1954. There we go. I like that a lot. So maybe I'll call it that in the official transcript. So what we have, so I've got a Deep Space Nine model here, right? This one I just grabbed because building models really. Wait, where's that thing on it? Is that? Anyway, I love how it's not focusing. Anyway, yeah, so I just picked this kit because I just kind of wanted to build something actually, and that was important. Let me put it back on. So just as an exercise of like you would a puzzle, like if you did a jigsaw puzzle. I didn't want to like really devote a lot of time to modifying it. I just wanted the start to finish experience of building a model, and that's what I have. A lot of them are like that, but they're models that I definitely wanted to put more effort into. And and now that we have a house with a big enough space to display them, I'm just going to keep rolling on with them, which is really great. Oh, I hope you haven't had to deal with urinary blockages with your cats. Those are very scary. We've had we've dealt with that before, Edie, and you're right. It is very scary, especially if you have orange tabbies in particular. Really, any flavor of orange male cat. It's a real. You got to really keep an eye on the foods that you give them. So far, knock on wood, we've done pretty good. Our oldest orange cat, Tang, and he's 14 this year, came with us from Washington. He's had a couple of scares like that where he had to go into the vet, but we've got him under control now, and I think we've got him in a good idea. Cats have some real weird weaknesses embedded in their feline systems, and they all deal with kidneys or bladders or any of that stuff, unfortunately. But yeah, so I have this one here. I don't have an example kit nearby. Oh yeah, I do. Oh yeah, I do. Here. Let me show you. Let me give you an idea of kind of. So instead of kit bashing, don't be disappointed if I'm not going to kit bash. Let me show you this one. This one's fun. Hey, David's back. Hey, thanks a lot. How you doing? Let me show you the pillars. The pillars of destruction. This is what we ended up with. In 6 inches with a red eye, no less. So, yeah. Here, hang on. Let me grab this one. It's over behind me. The scale of this model, in terms of the size, is really exciting. In fact, I was just going through a bunch of these. See, this is gonna make a mess. Let me just I'm gonna police my station a little bit before I do this. Grab some things out of the way here. Oh, not that. Oh, not that one. There we go. All right. How dare we? Z-box. Let's do this again. Bring this back out. There we go. Alrighty. There we are. All right. Cool design. Are you going to do more nebulas with abstract? I may, Arts of Space. I wanted to try it out here tonight. Yeah. Oh, you adopted Jon Snow with FIV. Oh, you got an FIV. We have a couple of FIV kitties in our experience too. I'm glad you took them. That is very cool because honestly, FIV kitties need a good home too. Yeah, we have a couple like that. I've been thinking about 3D printing some kits of ship designs from my books. Oh, David, that would be so cool. You've got some cool ship designs. I've seen the ones. If you're talking about the ones in your covers, yes, I've seen a few of those. Oh, the Sleeping Cat Nebula. Yes. FIV is a feline immunovirus. It is a similar. It attacks cats' immune systems similarly to the way HIV attacks humans, and it has some of the same symptoms and conditions. It suppresses the immune system. Once a cat has it, they can pass it on. It isn't immediately fatal at all. It just depends on whether or not the cats are well fed and taken care of. So yeah, feline HIV, basically, yeah. So this is a kit I have that is just to give you, oh yeah, this is a studio scale. I don't have any of the other parts out, do I? I do not. Do not. This is a studio scale Klingon battle cruiser. Yeah. And this is a resin kit that came out, oh gosh, when was it? Captain Cardboard? Oh god, I probably had this model. Jeez, how long have I had this model? Unbuilt, right? Just sitting in a freaking box, right? I've had this model forever. Yeah, anyway. There's this. There we go. Yeah, here we go. So this is a good size model. This is the cat. You're right, it is. It's the Captain Cardboard D7. Wes knows. Wes and I suffer from some of the same issues, right? It's got to be late 90s. I wasn't really back in until about 99, right? Yeah, there we go. So that is just okay. So just to give you an idea, Klingon battleship, right? Boom, ba-dum, boom, 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 boom. I like my Klingon ships. So this is the AMT kit of the Klingon battle cruiser that came out in the 60s or 70s, right? Like this is the one that actually it's a very accurate kit. The AMT kit is a very accurate Klingon battle cruiser, and this thing was made in like 1973, 72 or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, if you want a good Klingon battle cruiser, get yourself an old AMT kit. It's AMT basically built the model for the show, so they had that. You got the same one, Wes. Awesome. But yeah, it's a little bit bigger. But look how cool that's gonna be. You get a couple of them side by side. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, there's just some subjects, Edie, that I just definitely want to. I just want to build them. I want to have them in my presence, right? They're all. Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily kit bash this, but I would. I don't know. I haven't decided if I don't think I'm gonna put lights in my. What about you, Wes? Are you gonna when you get around to yours, right? When you get around to your Captain Cardboard, are you gonna light it? See, because that means I basically have to perspective shot, exactly, right? If you get 3 of the same model in different scales. Oh, and I have some smaller ones too. I'm planning on doing a fun display. Oh, you're scared to try to build it? Oh, excuse me, sorry. You've only ever built one resin kit. Oh, okay, gotcha. This one, I think it's going to need a lot of 2-part epoxy, like 5-10 minute epoxy, honestly. But yeah, no lights. It's going to be just like TOS. Same. That's what I'm going to do too. I've got the Katinga in this. That's about the same size from Polar Lights, round 2, AMT, whatever they are. That one's going to get lit, but not this one. Yeah, don't be scared of the resin kits. It's mainly as long as you've got the space to lay it out, and don't be afraid to make jigs to line things up. Yeah, I think it could be a fun time. I honestly, there aren't many pieces, Wes, and if you practice some pinning, I figured I was going to pin some of the parts together with brass rods, along with I would probably rely mainly on um, epoxy and Abe's Magic Sculpt to fill in gaps and such. But I think it should be pretty good. I will light the shit out of the Katinga model. Yeah, yeah, me too. I've got one. I don't have the light kit yet, but I definitely will. EDS, was I involved in model rocketry when I was a kid? I very much was, Edie. Yes, my dad got my brother and I into it pretty heavily. We lived in a subdivision where it was just houses side by side. And we actually had a few families on our block that used to launch them off. So yeah, I had a good time with it. And I actually later on when I was at Microsoft, a pal of mine, a guy I actually worked for at the time, got into the big model rockets, and I went to the Black Rock Desert for some of the high end big model rockets. It was pretty cool. Wes says, I'm kind of wondering if it needs an armature. Yeah, I'm not sure either on that, Wes. I don't think so. Like, okay, so, oops, just drop that up. I think, yeah, big Klingon cruiser, David. Yeah, I think so. This is the head, right? The head part of it. This kit, as you can see, there's a brass rod. There's a brass rod right through here. Let me see if I can pull this up. Yeah, there's a brass rod right through here. So it was cast with a brass rod through the neck, and I think. Well, actually, I think this was me. I think I used Magic Sculpt to patch it up. I think that's about the most I would do for an armature because the body, at least on my kit, is really thick resin, and once you get it stuck together with epoxy, let me see if I got the pieces. Do I? Oh yeah, I think I do. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, so I could show you. Okay, so I did actually put some of it together, right? This version of the kit was two pieces, left and right, and as you can see, I basically glued it together with what did I glue this with? Okay, stop for a look. It looks like a super stretch Viper from the. It kind of does, doesn't it? Right? Voom. Super stretch Viper from Galactica. Yeah, here we go. So, honestly, I feel like even if you do a contact glue here, it probably would hold okay. I need to drill this out, don't I? Yeah, I'm gonna need to drill this out. I was hoping I could just slot it together. And this is a big hunk of heavy resin, let me tell you. So yeah. This mass of the body is probably going to be sufficient. It'll certainly be sufficient enough to hold the engines off the side. Oh look, they have a key right here for the engine pieces. You know what? If you used a good 5-10 minute epoxy and had a jig set up where you got the alignment right, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Yeah, this D7, this is going to be cool. Yeah. It might just need a block inside behind the neck. Well, there's a oh, I see what you mean. A block inside here. I don't remember. This resin is thick. I got to tell you. It let me see here. Trying to look inside. Anyway. I think if I remember correctly, I did gap filling thick super glue, and then I went over it with this Magic Sculpt, which is this stuff will grind down just fine. I never got around to correcting the seam. That would really help the center of gravity too. Oh yeah. But this body is totally the center of gravity. Once you get this thing attached to it, this actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, if you were to put a peg like right through here, I think that's what this hole is for. This little gap right here is for the stand, right? Every time I've seen this model on display, this or even the Katingas, it basically, yeah, it totally balances out. You know, pretty heavy. And because this thing's hollow, there's like nothing to this. But yeah, so big models. the big models that I couldn't bring myself to sell, right? That's the thing. Oh, did you notice that the lower elevator from Tron Legacy looks like the engineering structure of the D7? Yes, I did. Yeah, the tower elevator. I looked at that and went, you guys, wait a second. I love the Klingon battlecruiser. It is this thing is this is one of my favorite designs of any ship from kind of any show. It's just cool. But yeah, you're excited that I'm excited you have it. Okay, we're gonna have to build them together. Build them together and post the results. Yeah, I had this one. I also had the Captain Cardboard X-wing fighter, the studio scale Red 5, and that one I did sell, and I kind of regret it. I would love to have an X-wing fighter at scale. God, this thing just looks good at so many angles, right? Like my gosh, this is also a Walter M. Jeffries design, who designed the original Enterprise. Yeah. This ship just looks good from every freaking angle, all the time. It's epic. I don't know. Classic. Okay, question: green and purple or gray paint? Oh, I know. I can't decide. I can't decide which is going to get green and purple and which one's going to get gray. One of these will be one, and the other will be the other. I feel like this one needs to be the green and purple, only because there's like, if you look at this, there's barely any detail on this model, right? It is a very, I mean, the shape is gorgeous, but you know, there's just not a lot of detail to it. So, oh, and for the people that are wondering, the green and purple scheme goes something like this, right? When they shot the ship for the TV series, they painted it basically the same gray. They painted their model basically the same gray that the Enterprise was, so that it would show up on their film. They didn't want to fight with color effects. They just wanted to get it to register. So effectively, the Klingon battlecruiser model was the same gray as the Enterprise. They used basically the same paint, right? But when they presented the model to the producers, the model was painted like a pale green. Like all of this was, instead of this kind of, everything you see here that is like blue, imagine it being kind of a greener color. And then the very top of this section and the very top of like the command pod gets kind of like a purple gray. So it's kind of a two-tone paint scheme, right? And that it changes it changes how it looks. Oh wait, actually I think in one of the episodes, Elon of Troyes, in the original footage, you can kind of see I think maybe that one they did the two-tone. There's one of the episodes they got some shots of the two-tone versus the gray. So anyway, it'll be one or the other. And then, oh my gosh, once we get into Katinga land, the big brothers of these, I'm gonna have so many Klingon ships in my display, it's not even gonna be funny. The original series Star Trek is the only one I like. The other ones just don't do it for me. Well, you know, that's okay. It's not for everybody. It wasn't intended that way either. Eventually it'll get there. That's fine. By the way, I go on about a lot of shows, and I know they are not everybody's cup of tea. So thank you for sticking around, even if I'm talking about shows that may not be your thing. So, yes. I liked Johnny Sacco and his giant robot. I like the old Buster Crab Flash Gordon serials, which are so goofy but wonderful at the same time. Actually, Tubi just got those. So if you're looking for something fun, Flash Gordon and his trip to Mars, Princess Azura. It's Channel 50 used to show those all the time. That was pretty cool. So yeah, I like. Oh, sorry, I like a lot of crazy things. And wait, I don't think Faith is on. Faith, are you on here? I know Faith is all sick of all the Star Trek shows. Yeah, she's ready to move on from all the Star Trek. Which I can't blame you. I like them, but I'm enjoying moving on. If someone told me they weren't going to do any Star Trek anymore ever, I'd actually be pretty okay with that. Part of me would be like, oh well, I'm kind of sad. Nah, we're fine. I think that maybe there's a chance for some other stories to be told, some other things. I think like I mentioned, Severance. I loved Silo. Oh my gosh. And with luck, hopefully, I haven't read the book yet. Hopefully, what's the movie coming up from the Martian guy? Project Hail Mary. Yeah, looking forward to some good sci-fi. Awesome. FY, I posted my D7 Lightwave 3D model on the Discord. Oh, you got a Lightwave one? Oh, cool. Hey, does Lightwave export it into something I can open it with in Blender? Silo was cool. Yes, I agree. I am looking forward to the rest of Silo. In fact, I'm holding off on reading the books. I want to get the books. I'm so intrigued with the world. I'm intrigued with the author. The author's working with him on the show, which is really cool. Yeah. So, yeah, there we go. I would love to. I'm thinking of maybe I should take a crack at it. I don't know if the Hyperion books are gonna finally get a production. I think that's tied up in production hell right now. Oh, just let me know, Wes. I'd be thrilled. That would be awesome. I'd like to take a peek at it. I would like to see a remake of Forbidden Planet. Oh, there was a legitimate remake effort of Forbidden Planet, and Sid Mead actually did some work on it. I don't think I have the book in here. One of my Sid Mead books in here has a lot of the production art from Forbidden Planet. I think they were going to follow the story pretty closely. I don't remember. But yeah, that was Forbidden Planet is one of my favorites. I actually really wish, that Keanu Reeves was in that terrible remake of Day the Earth Stood Still. I feel like Day the Earth Stood Still absolutely could use a good remake and not that garbage one. So, yeah. Wes says, oh, did I hear that Dan Simons passed away? I did hear that. Yes, I heard that. Very sad about that. I didn't realize he was having trouble. I wish that Dan could have seen that show up, and maybe he had. There is a production company working. Oh, and an actor too. I forget which actor. Maybe one of you can remember. Someone's working on the Hyperion as a production, but I don't know if they're going to get off the ground with it. Yeah, I would love to see that. And poor Dan Simons, I feel bad. There are some scenes from Hyperion that are stuck in my head that I've never drawn. I've never done I feel like maybe I should do a take on some Hyperion, the same way that I did a bunch of drawings of the Expanse books when I was reading them. And to this day, I don't know. Hyperion has a few things that stick with me that I would love to see. So maybe I'll have to tackle some of those. Edie says, have I ever seen Hardware or Death Machine? They combine the Deathbot and damsel in distress genres, or are outlawed in some countries for excessive violence. Well, now I gotta see him. That sounds like that'd be right up my alley. Death Machine, that's different than Death Proof, right? The Quentin Tarantino ones. Oh, that's funny. Hardware rings a bell. I think I remember something about the show Hardware, but I'm not checked it out yet. Mead's a legend. His artwork looked like it was actually doable and not pie in the sky. Yes. Oh, that I agree. And Mead was amazing. I actually have a few. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was a big Sid Mead fan. What format do you need for Blender? Oh, I think it'll take FDM. Not FDM. Here, I was almost gonna fire it up. Oh, you know what? It'll take OBJ. I gotta remember that it has an OBJ importer. Wes, I forgot it. It used to be when I had 3D Studio Max, it was always an issue trying to get a good copy, but I forgot Blender does open up Lightwave files. So whatever, yeah, any variety, that would be great. And by the way, if I've got some here, I'll share. Have you got the Galactica ones, Wes? FBX, yes, it'll do FBX. Thank you. Houdini Bob says, have you seen the 1970 movie Colossus, the Forbin Project, the first cautionary tale of AI gone wrong? Oh, I was looking at that. It's on the streaming stage. I can't remember. Edie, you pointed out Pluto TV. I've just been diving into. Maybe Pluto's got it. Yeah, I might. I want to see. I haven't seen Colossus again in a long time. Oh, and it's got the guy that ended up in soap operas. He's really good. No, I want to watch Colossus again. Yeah. Sadly, no. Oh, bummer. Okay, cool. I will. I'll hook you up, Wes. I'll hook you up. Space 1999 had very realistic looking design too. I agree with you there. In fact, I've got on my to build pile, I have a whole section of Space 1999 hardware that I'm looking forward to, which is great. In fact, when I finish Deep Space Nine, I don't think I'm going to go on to Voyager this time. I find the disconnect from Deep Space Nine to Voyager and then to Enterprise to be a little jarring. So I'm going to stop at Deep Space Nine, and I'm going to pick up Space 1999 again. It's been a little over a year since I've seen Space 1999. So once I finish up the series, you'll start seeing Space 1999 models again. Oh my gosh, I have Hans Gude. Wait, okay, I missed a few of those. Hans Gudegast, also known as Eric Breden. Very cool. It's because it could very easily happen. Hard to believe it's over 50 years old. Oh, I know, right? I'm sorry. That Italian design, futuristic design from the 70s, and Italian furniture. Hello, I love the show. I love everything about it. There is apparently Jerry Anderson's son, and I'm forgetting his name, is involved with obviously the ongoing Jerry Anderson productions. Apparently, they are doing a new 4K rescan of all the original Space 1999 footage. It's had a couple of good scans. There's a Blu-ray and DVD production. The DVD is gorgeous. The Blu-ray was gorgeous. I love them all. But yeah, I'm looking forward to sitting down and going end with it. Now, I'm not a big season 2 guy. I like season 2 just fine. I'm still annoyed they changed it. I like Victor Bergman and season 1's weirdness, but anyway, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it's hard to believe it's over 50 years old. I remember I watched those things religiously when they came out. I was a Channel 12 out of Flint, Michigan. Barbara Bain and Martin Landau recorded 100 intros for the opening of Space 1999. I remember they had one for TV12. Barbara Bain saying, "Hey, watch every week on TV12, 8:00 Thursday night." That's how much I remember it. And I was so annoyed the nights that we were out doing something else and I had to miss my show. But yeah. What's fascinating about some of these shows, and I don't know, Houdini Bob, Wes, maybe a lot of us are all in the same age group. We couldn't record anything we saw on TV very easily. Like, that was not a thing you could do. You literally were at the mercy of programming. Blade Runner, still waiting for the flying cars. I did my senior thesis in industrial design school on a flying car. And when I was researching traffic control mechanisms between road traffic and, air traffic control, it became very clear to me that unleashing flying vehicles on the general public may be a terrible idea. Gudegast played a Nazi in Rat Patrol and then played a woman hater in a soap opera. Oh, wait. Okay, so I'm missing out on that. Hans Gudegast, Eric Bladen. That's right. I think we'll be waiting a long time. I did take some film photographs on the TV occasionally. Oh, you did. The most I did, I used an audio cassette, a cassette tape, and recorded episodes and demanded that everybody in the house be silent for the hour that it was playing. And I tried desperately to stop and restart it so I didn't get the damn commercials. But that's the closest I had. And as much as I loved the sound effects, it was, wishing I had had something as extravagant as a VCR. So, yeah. Good times. Awesome, everybody. Well, that's been a fun time. I like the wrap up here. I think I'm going to go ahead and cash out for the night. And by the way, thank you so much, everybody, for joining along. Here again is our another view of our. Yes, I will have photos of our work tonight up on the Discord. Yay, very cool. And our Pillars of Destruction. This is going to be a series, and maybe I'll even do some bigger. I don't know. That's going to be pretty cool. Awesome. Who did you have? Says, do you remember CBS documentary series hosted by Walter Cronkite that explored futuristic technology and societal developments expected by the year 2001? I don't remember that specific one, Houdini Bob, but that would have been right up my alley. Absolutely. Wes said you recorded the Apollo 11 mission on cassette tape. Yeah, see, I was only 2. You got a couple of years on me. I was only 2 for that. I remember, it's one of my earliest memories. I have visual memories of that evening and the places we were at. So it's very fascinating. Yeah, and now we can just kind of grab anything we want and go for the most part. Although I'm rapidly running out of streaming stations. I think I need to build up my home. Oh, 21st Century. That was the one. Yeah, that rings a bell. I'll bet I saw that. It seems very, very familiar. And if I didn't see it then, there's a very good chance I saw it in school. Well, we watched a lot of that kind of stuff. Cosmos, I mentioned on the stream before. Connections, the guy Burke was. That was a good show. Oh, you were 12 with Apollo 11. That would have been great. I would have loved to have had that. But see, okay, so here's the thing. I think people that were 11 and 12 by the time Apollo 11 landed, you guys and ladies, you had more of the Western thing, like cowboys and Indians were the big thing. Where by the time I showed up, it was all spacemen and space aliens. Edie says, I wonder if anything predicted in Future Shock has come true. I haven't read it. I don't know. Oh, Alvin Toffler's Future Shock. Yes. Well, okay. So, Future Shock, there's a good movie on Future Shock, and it was a good book, too. Actually, that was one I read in high school, and we saw the movie in a psychology class. So, really, Future Shock wasn't about predicting the future, except that, the premise of Future Shock is this. Change is always occurring in human lives, right? We've gone from, living around campfires to organizing around agriculture. We've gathered into cities. We built business and culture and blah, blah, blah. And for the most of human existence, these changes took longer than a human life to happen, right? So you'd be born into a system and everything would be relatively stable. You'd have wars, you'd have things like that, obviously, and natural disasters. That would be changed. But now we were getting into the industrial age, the 20th century, end of the 19th century, 20th century, and all of this change of how we live our lives is happening faster. Now you have people who are born that never saw a human being fly, and in their lifetime, not only did we get the ability to fly, we landed on the moon, like we were just talking about. So the premise for Future Shock is what's the effect going to be on human beings, us all around, if every year the pace of change, more things change faster and faster and faster. It's kind of like the Moore's law in computers, where every few years there's a doubling of computer capability and at the same time a reduction of price. It's the same principle. Is like the change is happening faster and faster and faster. And honestly, from a prediction standpoint, dead on. Absolutely. It got into my head to the point where I was also trying to be aware of change happening faster. And when you start looking at society around you, world society, country society, your local society, when you start looking at it as a lens of how is this going to affect things based on this change X through your entire life, it's really, especially when the internet showed up. Yeah. I would definitely say that Future Shock for sure. In terms of being a predictor of sorts, yes, absolutely, it kind of was. And there's obviously going to be issues with it. It's a victim of its own time. It's a 1970s thing, so you'll have to forgive it if you sit down and read it. THX 1138 was an interesting movie. It was also on back of a droided Phantom Menace. THX 1138. Well, hey, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of the license plates in American Graffiti, I think Ron Howard's car in American Graffiti has a 1138 license plate on it. I was not a fan of THX 1138 when I first tracked it down. It was way back in the 80s. I found it was on videotape. I was expecting Star Wars, and I got art house sci-fi, although it had Robert Duvall, which is really cool. I like it a lot, though. I think it's an excellent movie. Very cool. There's a difference in evolutionary change happening and revolutionary change. Those born in the 1800s saw a lot of new revolutionary things. Absolutely. Oh, FBX exported? Please email it. That would be great. At myblackbirdcd@gmail.com. Thank you so much. I will return the favor. I may have to Dropbox it or something for you, Wes, because the files I have are huge. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to give you the Big Kahuna Galactica. You're going to love that. And it is a big kahuna. But yeah, I think the internet was obviously the biggest thing that we've seen in our lifetimes. Aside, moon landing and internet. Jesus, there's two of them. Sorry, I didn't mean to take one of the various creatures' names in vain. Sorry about that. Yeah, you get those two in one lifetime. In the history of mankind, you'd be lucky if you lived through one radical mind-shifting change, and we've, at least in my lifetime, I've had two. And the ramifications of the internet existence, just it existing, we're going to be feeling that one for way beyond our time, and I don't think the coolest things of it are happened yet. But yeah, awesome, fun afternoon, good times. All right, everybody, I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to go get myself something to eat, I think. And thank you, everybody, so much. I appreciate it. We will be back on Sunday for my Patreon folks. I will have the link out for that. Same time, 3 p.m. on Sunday. Feel free to check it out there. We're going to give you a peek inside the studio. Exclusive looks at the things going on in our Subterranean studios. And I will roll out some extras in the following weeks. But, hey, thank you, everybody. Stay safe. It's good to have you all here. And we will catch you all next Friday. Peace out, everyone.
All right, so I've taken my white paint with my little fan brush here. And let's just see how crazy this goes. This is where I throw paint everywhere. just kind of gives it an air of legitimacy that it doesn't deserve. You know?
I have Bob Ross the shit out of this painting.